Before you roll your eyes, pause. Because there's a moment, quiet, almost invisible, when attraction crosses a line, not into lust, into trust. And if you've ever missed it, you felt it later, as regret. You've been there, sitting across from her, words flowing, laughter landing. The air feels charged but restrained, like thunder holding its breath. And then something subtle happens. She doesn't lean in. She doesn't kiss you. She doesn't say anything bold. Instead, she lets you touch her hand. Not by accident. Not in a crowded room. She lets your fingers rest there for a second longer than necessary. And suddenly, everything changes. Because a woman's hand isn't just skin and bone. It's a boundary. It's permission. It's a quiet test most men never even realize they're taking. Welcome to Female Code Unlocked. This channel isn't about lines, tricks, or pretending to be someone you're not. It's about understanding what women feel before they ever say it. If you're ready to see beneath the surface and you don't want to miss moments that matter, subscribe now. Here's what most men get wrong. They think attraction explodes. That desire announces itself loudly. That if she wants you, she'll make it obvious. But female psychology doesn't work like fireworks. It works like gravity, slow, invisible, inevitable, if you know what to look for. When a woman lets you touch her hand, truly lets you, it's not about romance, it's about safety. Her hands are how she navigates the world. They're how she protects herself, how she creates distance, how she keeps control. Letting you into that space means something inside her has already softened. Think about it. She may hug friends, she may brush past strangers, but a deliberate hand touch? That's different. That's her nervous system saying, I'm not guarding myself from you. And here's the dark truth no one tells you. Women decide how close you're allowed long before you think anything is happening. By the time she lets that touch happen, she's already imagined how it would feel to be closer, not sexually, emotionally. She's asked herself whether you're safe, steady, present, whether you see her or just want her. This is why men who rush lose. They mistake permission for opportunity. They push. They escalate. And she pulls away. Not because she wasn't interested, but because he shattered the frame. Attraction isn't built by force. It's built by restraint. The hand is a gateway. Not because it's intimate, but because it's honest. There's no performance there. No flirting mask. Just two nervous systems checking in with each other. If she lets you stay there, if she doesn't pull back, doesn't tense, doesn't laugh it off, you're not winning. You're being allowed. And that's far more powerful. But here's the part that separates men who are remembered from men who are forgotten. What you do next is often nothing. You don't squeeze. You don't linger desperately. You don't turn it into a moment. You let it exist. Because confidence doesn't rush intimacy. It allows it to grow. Most men chase sparks. The ones women fall for understand signals. And this is just the beginning. You felt it before. Maybe you didn't have words for it, but your body knew. That strange calm that settles in when her hand stays in yours. Time slows. The room fades. And suddenly you're not performing anymore. You're present. That's the moment most men sabotage without even realizing it. Because inside your head, a voice panics. This is it. Do something. So you talk too much. You move too fast. You try to turn a quiet signal into a loud victory. And just like that, the magic leaks out of the room. Here's the deeper layer most men never understand. When a woman allows that touch, she's not giving you access to her body. She's measuring your emotional control. She's watching how you handle closeness. Whether you become needy, whether you spike in energy, whether your desire suddenly outweighs your composure. Women don't fall for men who want them. They fall for men who can hold wanting them. Her hand in yours is a psychological mirror. It reflects who you really are when you get what you want. Do you tighten your grip because you're afraid to lose it? Or do you stay relaxed, grounded, unbothered, as if intimacy is something you're familiar with? This is why emotionally intelligent men feel rare. Not because they're mysterious, but because they're regulated. Their nervous system doesn't spike at permission, and that calm is intoxicating. Think about her perspective. She's spent her life being touched by men who rushed, grabbed, claimed, men who mistook access for ownership. So when she lets you touch her hand, she's asking a silent question. Are you like the rest? Or are you different? If you pass that test, something subtle happens inside her. Her shoulders soften. Her breathing slows. She leans in without realizing it. Attraction deepens, not because of what you did, but because of what you didn't do. Dark psychology isn't about manipulation. It's about understanding emotional cause and effect. Pressure kills desire. Presence amplifies it. And here's the part that might sting. Some women will never let you touch their hand, no matter how funny you are, no matter how good you look. Not because you're unworthy, but because they don't feel safe enough to soften around you. Attraction isn't democratic, it's emotional. When she does let you in, it means her defenses are down just enough to let curiosity lead. She's imagining, not consciously, but emotionally, what it would feel like to trust you more, to be closer, to let the wall drop another inch. That's why men who understand this don't chase kisses. They don't push for labels. They let the woman convince herself, because the real seduction happens in her mind, alone, after you're gone. She replays the moment, the calm, the steadiness, the way you didn't rush, and her attraction grows in the silence. That's when she starts leaning toward you emotionally. That's when she starts investing. This is the paradox most men never solve. The less you need the moment, the more powerful it becomes. And the hand is only the first gate. There's another place, far more intimate, far more revealing, that women guard even more carefully. And when she lets you touch that, the dynamic shifts permanently. There's a second threshold most men never even notice, because it isn't announced with chemistry or tension. It's quieter than that, deeper. And when a woman allows you access to it, her perception of you shifts from interesting to significant. It's her neck, not in the way movies show it, not dramatic, not hungry. I'm talking about the moment she tilts her head toward you while you're close, the moment she doesn't flinch when you stand just inside her personal space, the moment she adjusts her hair and exposes that vulnerable line of skin without guarding it. The neck is instinctual. It's where the pulse lives. It's where trust and danger intersect. Every human being is wired to protect it. So, when she unconsciously opens that area to you, she's not thinking about desire, she's feeling safety. This is where male intuition usually fails. Men see the neck and think sexual. Women feel the neck and think surrender. And surrender doesn't come from attraction alone. It comes from emotional regulation, from presence, from the sense that you're not there to take, but to hold space. You've experienced this if you're honest. That moment when you're talking softly, close enough to hear her breath change, when her voice drops half a tone, when her sentence is slow, when her body angles toward you without intention. That's not flirting. That's her nervous system syncing with yours. Here's the dark psychological truth. Women don't open their bodies before they open their emotions. They open them because their emotions already feel safe. So when she lets you be close enough to her neck, when she doesn't step back, doesn't tense, doesn't create distance, she's already decided you're not a threat. And once a woman removes you from the threat category, desire has room to grow. This is why aggressive men confuse attraction with compliance. They think closeness is earned by dominance. But dominance triggers defense. Calm triggers curiosity. And curiosity is the doorway to attachment. If you rush this moment, you lose her. If you touch without permission, physical or emotional, you break the spell. But if you simply notice it, if you slow down instead of speeding up, something fascinating happens. She starts leaning in more. Because women test men with space. They give you access and watch how you handle it. Do you respect the opening, or do you exploit it? Men who pass this test don't need to escalate. The woman does it for them, emotionally first, physically later. That's why the most powerful move here is restraint. You don't need to touch her neck. You don't need to say anything about it. You let the moment breathe. You stay grounded. You let her feel that closeness doesn't make you lose control. And in that calm, something locks into place inside her. She starts associating you with peace, with safety, with a sense of being seen instead of chased. That's the foundation of deep attraction, the kind that doesn't fade when novelty dies. And there's one final place women guard more fiercely than any other. Not because it's vulnerable, but because it reveals her true emotional availability. When she lets you touch that, you're no longer just a man in her life. You're a presence she feels. There's one place left, and it has nothing to do with skin. It's her inner world. The place she guards the hardest isn't physical at all. It's emotional access, her fears, her doubts. The parts of her she doesn't show because they've been mishandled before. When a woman lets you touch that, the dynamic shifts in a way that can't be undone. You'll recognize the moment. Her tone changes. She stops joking. Her eyes don't wander. She tells you something she doesn't tell everyone. A past hurt, a quiet insecurity, a truth she usually hides behind strength or humor. And when she does, she's watching. Not your words, but your reaction. This is where most men fail catastrophically. They interrupt, they problem solve, they try to fix her. But what she's really asking is simpler and far more dangerous. Can I exist fully in front of you without being judged, rushed, or minimized? If she lets you touch that part of her, her vulnerability, and you don't recoil, don't lecture, don't use it later as leverage, something irreversible happens inside her. She bonds. Dark psychology isn't about tricks. It's about understanding how attachment forms. And attachment forms when a woman feels emotionally naked and still safe. That's when attraction stops being optional. This is why men who listen deeply feel rare. Why presence feels seductive. Why emotional containment creates desire stronger than looks or status ever could. When she opens up and you stay calm, grounded, steady, when you don't flinch at her depth, you become different. Not exciting, not thrilling, necessary. Because now, you're not just someone she wants. You're someone she feels understood by. And once a woman associates you with emotional safety, intimacy follows naturally. No pushing, no chasing, no forcing moments that aren't ready. She leans in. She invests. She chooses. That's the truth most men never hear. Attraction begins in curiosity. Desire deepens in safety. And commitment grows where vulnerability is respected. So if a woman lets you touch her hand, notice it. If she opens her space, honor it. If she opens her inner world, protect it. Because when she gives you that access, she's already yours. Not because you took anything, but because you knew how to hold it.